Okay, so finally, I got my Cars 2 characters here, all of them. Francesco and Carla took their decent amount of time, but they're finally here. So that means I can start the elimination. So let's go over the teams. So team main characters, or team heroes as I call them, uh, they have a decent change. One is that the King's now here, and he moved from Team Blue to this team. And I removed Guido from this because, well, I can't speak Italian, and him saying pit stop boss all over and over again would just be repetitive. And then to who we have Team Rare Springs. The only change here is that I replaced the purple Ramon with the metallic Union Jack Ramon, since it's metallic. Then I put Team Thailand. No real noticeable changes. Although since I've obtained metallic hull, I put them on this team. Then we got Team Power Warmers. So there's a lot of changes. Paunchy Wipeout and Richie Guns have been removed from this because I've not seen Richie lately in stores, so he's pretty much rare again at this point. And Paunchy Wipeout, it's now the year Paul Conrev, so Paul Conrev is on this team, and I do have the Thailand one, but I just did the China one because, after all, Mr. Batty 4 did use China Man McGear in his bigger and better elimination. I put Parker Breaks in here, even though he's not really that much of a peg warmer in my area. So yeah, I consider myself lucky that I'm not tormented by Parker Breakston, but I'm more tormented by this freaking stupid idiot. And don't worry, he won't be the first one out since he's a team leader and he has immunity. So even if he is a bad sport, he'll still keep his immunity no matter what happens. I only put Tex Zeneca here so Manali certain won't be the only non-racer here, which could be hypocritical on the next team, which is Team First Look. As you can see, Shannon Spokes is the only non-racer on that team. So we have TG Calson as the leader of the team. One, because he's my favorite stock car, and two, it's because I don't have Steve LePage. You have Blaine Locke, Dirksen, and then, yeah. And even though this is the Thailand Harvey, he was still a first look, so, yeah, that counts. Alright, anyway, next is Team Playable Characters. So, I put Cars 3 Todd here, not Cars 1 Todd, because I don't have Cars 1 Todd. And since this is supposedly supposed to be the same character as the Cars Fast as Lightning Todd, that's why he's here. Aiken Axler was playable in Cars Hot Shot Racing, so he counts to be on this team. And everyone else, they're from Driven to Win, so that's self-explanatory. Alright, Team Girls is an all-girl team, and yeah. So yeah, and there's Carla Veloso. And she had a little broken spoiler when I tried to open her and fell on the tile floor in the kitchen because I was so excited, but oh well. Next, I got Team Blue. Linda Weathers is now the leader of the team. And since I've obtained Jay, the only training in this field, well, that's why I decided to make the move to move Strip Weathers from here to here. And also, this is very important. You have to call Ravengor Racer Monica Road, or else your vote will not count. And same goes for Brenda Martinez. You have to call her Brenda Martinez, or LTTP, or LTP, or else your vote will not count. And everyone else, they have their self-explanatory names. Alright, next is Team Green. So they have not really changed that much. Team Chick Hicks. So, Chick Hicks henchmen. So, these guys worked for Chick Hicks in the past, like the Queen's Gang and Delinquent Road Hazards. So, yeah. And Team Custom. This is where things... So, three of these cars are canon, and the other half are speculated to have existed within the Cars universe. So we have Apple stock car. You have to call this racer Tony Straightaway or else your vote will not count. And you have to call Next Gen Rev and Go Wendy Marcus or else your vote will not count. Then you have to call this racer Candace because, well, that's what her name was in Racerama. Then you got Dale Earnhardt Sr. You have to call this racer Dale Earnhardt Sr. or else your vote will not count because he is Dale Earnhardt Sr. And the only reason why he's speculated to exist was, well, because this guy exists. Bill Racelot, you have to call this racer Bill Racelot or else your vote will not count. And he exists because, well, he exists. Then you have to call this race. Then you got the Igniter stock car. You have to call this racer Elisa Bumpridge, or else your vote will not count. And she exists because, well, every other stock car has a counterpart, has a next gen counterpart, except for every next gen has a stock car counterpart except for Jackson Storm. And I'm planning to change that with this car. Alright, anyway, next is Team NASCAR. We'll get to that team later on. But, yeah, there's no real changes here. But, yeah. I put Chase Racelaw. So, yeah, I moved Chase Racelaw here. Because he's not that much of a paddock warmer anymore. With the George Newman and the V3 out of the way. Then we have Team Thunder Hollow. And no, I do not have pushover. Team World Grand Prix, which has all the World Grand Prix racers. Well, 6 of them anyway. Franchesco, the World Grand Prix Elimination Series champion Lewis Hamilton, Jeff Corvette, Raul Sarul, Shu Todoroki, and Nigel Garrison. Alright, and the final team is Team Hangouts Elimination. Cars that I frequently used in Hangouts Eliminations. So you have Matty McGear, which is the fan favorites version. Miguel Camino, he's Thailand though. The only Thailand World Grand Prix racer that I actually own. Rob Klitschkonski. And in case you're wondering, he'll just be texting along whenever he won't be voiced. Then you got Jack the Post, Danny Suarez, and Conrad Camber. So yeah. So that is the Cars Ultimate Elimination Series Season 2, Episode 0. So we'll see you guys around Episode 1, which will be tomorrow.